Hey everybody, how you doing today? This is a beautiful day. I just want you to see what I'm seeing. I mean, those of you up in the Northeast, I know you get in the North, you get snow and you have all that winter stuff, but man, you can't beat. This is the day after Christmas, and short sleeves, enjoying the outdoors, just having a good time. Um, so you can't beat this. But oh man, little birds flying around. It's a great thing. So I wanted to come and talk to everybody today because this is the launch of my brand new vlog, and it's called Trim the Wick. And yes, it's with my business and everything else, but here's the thing is that Trim the Wick is very important to me because it speaks to me in so many ways, and I hope and my encouragement is that it'll speak to you as well. Because see, Trim the Wick is more than just a fancy phrase or a little catchphrase that helps you get thing. It talks about trimming those things that are charred up and dead and been used up and are just no good anymore. And if you keep trying to use that wick, all you do is get smoke. It doesn't get very bright. So trim the wick, what it is, it's you have to trim the dead stuff. You have to trim the charred stuff off so that the new wick that's underneath it can then get the fullness of the flame and the fire. In the old days, it would be an oil lamp, and it would be able to pull the fullness of that oil lamp and that oil into the wick to cause it to be nice and bright, burns cleaner, and actually becomes useful. When the wick and everything is all burnt up and city and gross and whatever, it's not very useful because number one, it's throwing a lot of smoke, but it's also not very bright. And the idea is that you want your wick to be trimmed so that the light that you have in you is shining bright. And that's really what Trim the Wick is. And that's what, why it means so much to me. Whoa, hit the microphone there. That's why it means so much to me. And it's so important in my life, and why I named my business that, and why we're going to name this vlog that, why the podcast is named that. Because it's such an important thing to my life. And I know for many of you, it's the most important thing to you too, because we've all dealt with situations where we've been abused. We've all dealt with situations where we've worked and we've burnt ourselves out. And, we're just not as bright as we should be. We're not giving our best. And then the things that we do, is kind of like, covered in black smoke or covered in soot. And it's not a great representation of who we are or what we can actually do. So I've kind of taken this thing of in that, you need to be your best so that you can give your best. And I believe that. And I'm on a journey right now. And here's the thing is that a lot of times people say things that they want to do, they teach things that they want to be, or whatever, but they never actually fulfill those things in their life. They never actually do it the way they're saying they should be doing it. And, I want to make sure that in my life that I'm being genuine, that I'm being honest, I'm being authentic, and I'm actually being who I'm saying I am, but I'm also being what I teach. And I think that's so important. And for a long time, we all, many of us start strong and we get going, and then we start getting criticisms. We might fail a couple times in what we do, and we start to second guess. Is this really what we're supposed to be doing? I even had a friend just recently look at me and say, Dan, are you sure this is what you're supposed to be doing? And it took me back. And at first I was a little offended. I was actually kind of annoyed at the whole question. Like, why are you questioning me? I'm not even. But then as I thought about it a little further, it made me really think about how important is it that I know what I'm doing and I actually believe what I'm doing and I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. So that's what this is. This is the beginning of a journey. This is what we're going to be doing together as, Trim the Wick here. And what I really want to do is that for longest time, I've been trying to put together a vlog. I've been wanting to do teachings. I've been wanting to do different things that I just enjoy, and different lessons that I've learned, and how my everyday life experientially leads to my growth and my personal development, and everything about me and who I am. And I've been trying to rack my brain, how to do that. Do I want to do a vlog? Do I want to get into this thing and film myself every day or every other day and stuff? And I started just really thinking about it and going, you know what? This is something that I really want to do. And to be authentic and to be genuine in my personal development, one of the reasons why I haven't done it is because I've been afraid, not that the things of that I'm going to get famous and stuff. That's not a fear at all, but the fear that I'm going to fail myself, and that I'm going to get involved in this, and I'm going to, after a couple weeks or a couple days, I'm just going to lose heart in it, and I'm not going to want to do it anymore, and I'm just going to fail. And so I've done some things here and there in the past, and I've had some enjoyment in, some of the videos and stuff I made, but I've never done something like this where I've just vlogged and I've just talked about things that I'm doing, and why it's important that I'm doing them, and why is it important, and what is it teaching me, and what am I growing, and what am I learning about. And my goal, my idea is that this is something that I'd like to share with you. And if you're one of those people that, you feel like you're just not getting over the hump, or you're just not starting, you have all these ideas, you have all these plans in your head, you've got all these things that you want to do, but you never take those initial steps to really get going, I'm hoping that we can join together in a nice community here, and we can do this together. I would love if you're a starting YouTuber, vlogger right now, or you're starting to do this journey on TikTok or Instagram or whatever you're doing. I would love for us to kind of get a community together and start helping each other to encourage one another, so that we can, be better, so that we can give better, and that we can be better for our family, our community, for our jobs, and for everything. So I'm enjoying a beautiful day. And here's one of the things that I just want to just say is that I don't know why it is such a struggle for me to get out and to do things like this. Here's the thing. I love coming out here in nature and looking around. Of course, there's a bunch of construction over here going on, but we'll go this way so it looks prettier. It looks better for the thumbnail type thing. But, I love coming out in nature and doing these sort of things, and going out and walking and exercising, and, being out on a beautiful day like it is today. And it is just gorgeous today in Central Florida. I mean, this is why people move to Central Florida. This is it. This is the reason right now, January 26th, and it is like 75, 76 degrees and gorgeous. But why is it so hard to get out of the door? I mean, I sit there, excuse me, I sit there in my chair and I'm doing other things, and I'm being busy, but God, this is what I want to be doing. I want to be out here. I want to be walking around. I want to be doing things like this. And for some reason, I don't. So why is it that hard? Why is it so hard to get that momentum going? Well, one of the reasons why is that, for the things I was saying earlier, we don't want to fail. We don't want to go out and get into a situation where it's not as good as we think it's going to be. I got out and I was driving around, and the parking lots were packed. Everybody's out enjoying this beautiful day. There was nowhere to park. And I went around the parking lot, and then finally a spot opened up. I almost left and said, you know what, I'm just going to go home. I'm not going to do it. I'll do this tomorrow, whatever. And then guess what? A spot opened up. And a lot of times that's, I believe, what happens to us is that we go, man, it's going to be such a hassle. I don't want to go through all the hassle of getting up and getting going, and then I'm going to get down there and it's going to be crowded, and I don't want to be there. And you know what? Right over there, about 300 yards from where I'm standing, there is a ton of people, all at the restaurants, all at the shops and stuff like that. But right here, where I'm at, it's just me. And I'm enjoying this outdoor. I've been walking and talking and thinking about the different things. And you know what? That's what's important, is that we've got to sometimes make the sacrifice and go, I want to do the thing I want to do, and I'm going to actually do it. You know, Nike made the big thing about, just go do it, or just do it. You know, well, that's easy to say sometimes and harder to do. And but I want to encourage you that just go do it. I'm out here having a great time, enjoying the outdoors. It is beautiful, and I feel a sense of accomplishment because I was comfortable. I was sitting there in the chair. I was doing some other things around the house. I was comfortable. I didn't have to do this, but I'm so glad I did. Well, guys, that's all I got for today. I'm real excited about this journey. I hope that you join me in this journey. Please comment, like, subscribe, whatever those things that you want to do. Let people know if they want to join the journey. So we're going to start today. We're going to start putting this thing in practice today, and we're going to make a difference. All right? Okay, that's it. That's all we're going to say for today. I love you guys. I haven't even met you, but I love you all anyways. And for those of you who are not enjoying this type of weather, I'm sorry, but maybe you should come to Florida for a nice visit. We'll talk more about that later. All right. Okay. Love you all, and we'll see you next time. All right. Love you. Bye.